Hello, children. Good morning to all of you, and welcome back to our previous class today. As discussed earlier, we are going to continue with the same lesson, changing the environment to adapt. We already discussed the intro of this lesson in the previous class. Now, today, what we are going to discuss is, as a recap, we'll go through the introduction once again in case you missed it. Then we will see how we change the environment drastically for our own needs. That is, first is to meet our need of water, to meet our need of food, and last of all, protecting ourselves by clothing and shelter. So let's begin today's class. First of all, as discussed earlier also, humans occupy every corner of the globe, but we are not physically adapted to survive in the different climatic conditions. Still, we manage to live under those conditions to which we are not adapted. How is that possible? Did you ever think like that? How do we do that? Children, you are aware humans occupy every corner of this planet. Whether it is a hot desert, whether it is a cold desert, whether it is dense forest, and still we are able to survive. So, how have we done that? The answer to this question is that we use the knowledge and technology to change or modify our surroundings. This cannot be done by the animals, but we humans do it, and we do it successfully. Why do we modify the environment? It is basically for two purposes. First of all, to meet our needs, and second, to protect ourselves against changes. And in this way, we survive even the harshest of the climatic conditions. How do we change the environment? Here you can see in this picture, first of all, deforestation. We cut down trees in several areas. Reason may be for the purposes of agriculture, for setting up industries, for construction of roads, and so on. We also construct dams wherein we stop the rivers in their way, and we use the water of the rivers to prepare hydroelectricity, even to provide water for irrigation by means of canals. And then this is one more example, the example of terrace farming, wherein we cut the slopes and make fields out of them. In all of these three examples, you will notice that once we have done the change, this change is irreversible. Once we have cut the trees, we cannot regrow forest in that particular area. Once a dam has been constructed, the rivers are stopped, blocked permanently by that dam. After terrace farming, once you have cut the slopes into terraces, they remain like that. You cannot get them into naturally again. So this is how, these are the few examples by which we change the environment. Now, meeting our need of water. Water, as all of us know, is essential for life. No one on this planet can survive without water. Even for a few days, we cannot even think of living without water. We need water for everything. And in order to obtain that requirement, we change the environment in the following ways. We obtain fresh water from many sources, rivers, lakes, ponds, etc. We build canals, we lay pipelines, we sometimes practice rainwater harvesting. In the most extreme cases, we desalinate seawater to make it potable. Many of you must be aware that in the country like Saudi Arabia, where there is no fresh water, they have huge desalination plants where they take out the salt from the seawater, and then that water is used for drinking and other purposes. And this is why it is said that in those countries, petrol is cheaper than water. So you see the extent to which we modify our environment so as to fulfill our own need. Once we have changed the course of a river by constructing dams, once we have constructed canals, once we have started a desalinating plant, we are constantly going to use these things for our own purposes without thinking about the effect that it will have on the environment. You can see this picture here, rainwater harvesting. This already was taught in the EVS chapter, so you know how it is done. Then desalinating plant, here I have a picture of it, and this is a canal irrigation. You can see this is an artificial canal which is bringing the water of dam to the fields. So all these modifications that we are doing bring about permanent changes on the surface of the earth. Next comes meeting our need for food. Again, food is the basic need of every living organism. And in order to maintain a steady supply of food, what are the things that humans do? We grow crops, we domesticate animals, we grow fruit trees in orchards, we build fish and prawn farms. Now, in order to fulfill our need of food, again, we are making changes on the environment, on the surface of the earth. To get land for fields, orchards, or ponds, we clear forested areas indiscriminately. We never even think about the repercussions of removing the forest cover from the surface of the earth. Thus, a field, orchard, or pond takes the place of a rainforest. And once the forest has been removed from the surface of the earth, believe me, children, we can never replant it. So, in this way, we can say humans have been very selfish. In order to meet our own needs, we have never thought about what harm we are doing to the environment and to nature itself. Here you see these, you must be aware, these are very familiar photos. You can see this is a wheat farm. Here we have an apple orchard. This is a fish farm. You might not have seen it, but this is in the near the coastal area especially we find fish farms, and this is an animals farm. So we are using every resource available on the earth in order to fulfill our own requirements. Next comes, how do we protect ourselves? By means of clothing and shelter. So we find different ways of protecting ourselves from the weather changes, from the insects, and so on. First of all, by the way we dress. We wear cotton clothes in summer season so that they may keep us cool. We wear winter clothes in the woolen clothes in the winter season to keep us warm. We also build our houses, and on top of that, we modify the climate inside our homes to make it more suitable for us. First of all, by the way we dress, now let's see now how we change the environment. The cotton that we are using for our summer clothes comes from the fields, and the woolen, it comes from sheep. The synthetic fabrics need raw material which comes from fossil fuels, and as you know that fossil fuels we have to mine them. They are not readily available in the environment. So in order to obtain our dress, we are again making changes to the environment, and that too sometimes maybe permanent changes which cannot be undone. When we build houses ranging from simple huts to huge apartment blocks. You must have seen in the metro cities there are several stories of flats, and that too in blocks, huge blocks occupied by a large population. Now, the raw material that is required for the construction comes from environment. Bricks are used, are prepared from soil after burning them in a kiln. Then the other things, the sand, the cement, all of these are affecting the environment. We also clear forest or even dry out lakes or seas to construct houses. When land is short, we make use of every available place in order to construct our homes. And we modify the climate inside our homes too, so as to make us more comfortable. We use air conditioners or heaters to keep the temperature in our homes comfortable. We also use refrigerator, fans. All of these harm the environment and also modify it, and sometimes it modifies it permanently. So, this is how, children, we are misusing the environmental resources for our own benefits. Now, your home assignment for today: read the text from the book, read this PowerPoint presentation carefully, watch the video lectures carefully, which I had sent today and earlier, and you have to do this assignment. Research on this topic. Greenhouses are used to grow delicate or out of season plants in cold climates. These greenhouses are made of glass. Why? Why not any other material but glass? So, this is a question, children, for you to think. Think and write the answer in your notebooks. I hope you enjoyed today's session. Happy learning, children. Take care. Bye for now.